I'm gonna try and articulate this message as best as possible. I'm in the middle of coming out of this heavy funk that I was in, and that is what this message is about. So I'm just sharing, so maybe it helps someone else. I'm filming this during a Mercury retrograde, and Mercury retrograde, this one specifically, feels like the universe put us in a pause so that we could, like, I'm seeing time moving on, the earth, the world, life moving on around you, but spirit putting, wow, this is not the first time I've went through this, I just realized that. It's like spirit puts you in a bubble, and life and everything around you just seemed to put you, your life just seemed to pause, but everything else around you was still going on. And this was done because spirit needed you to get so uncomfortable and take a long, hard look at some actions that you may be participating in that you are well aware no longer serve you, but there's this energy of going back to it out of habit. And whatever this was blocking your manifestations. I'm getting the energy that this is already clearing up, and if it hasn't, it will be soon. The more shadow work, the better. But I will say that this was blocking manifestations, and it's something little. It's something that seems little that maybe, like, I'm hearing like, oh, it's not that serious, is it? You know, like, but I'm getting a part of you knew and has known for quite some time that it is, but the mind, like, whatever this is, got to such an uncomfortable point that you were shutting out your intuition. And this was the goal, was for you to get so uncomfortable and tired that you said enough, is what I'm getting. There was a shutting out of the intuition. You weren't trusting your intuition. You were only listening to cold, hard facts. And that was creating this deep, deep deception and confusion. Like, it's trusting cold, hard facts more than that inner knowing. It's the mind taking over the heart and the soul, is what I'm getting. And whatever this teeny tiny little thing is that you thought maybe wasn't affecting your future or the gifts that you have that God gave you, it was really a timeout, a rest period, like I was saying, a pause and reflection, so that you could stop holding yourself back, is what I just heard. You have this, first of all, you do have visionary abilities, right? And I do see you being very passionate, right? Like, I'm getting rebel with a cause. But whatever this thing was kind of tainting or hindering your cause. I don't even know if those are the words that I exactly would like to use, but that's what's came to mind. Whatever this teeny tiny thing is, Spirit really was kind of putting their foot down and saying enough is enough, because you have a gift of being a visionary. And not only that, you have the qualifications to be in a leadership role, right? You have these passionate ideas, these passionate messages that you get from God, and you have the ability to bring these into reality, and I'm getting that you deeply, deeply wish to do so. But there was this energy of cutting corners, when it comes to evolving your gifts, when it comes to this cycle that you're in now. Spirit's kind of really being stern. 511 when I looked up. Spirit's kind of really being stern and saying, like, look, at this point in your life, you need to raise the bar higher. Because when you raise the bar higher, for the people and situations in your life, you create space for new levels of joy and abundance. Rise above old patterns. Okay? Spirit's like, look, if you want to get to where you want to get, you gotta snip these old patterns in the ass. And mine was eating, okay? Like, I was gonna save that till the end so I didn't get sidetracked, but mine was what I was eating. I cannot eat meat and dairy, okay? I just can't. It messes with my hormones so badly that I mentally start to lose my shit, okay? Like, I was in such a dark place mentally. It was like I was detoxing from narcotics all over again. I eat the meat, and then I have a little bit of dairy with it, and then I get constipated, and then the meat and the processed foods and everything just, like, they just amp up and amp up and amp up, and they get so bad that I literally feel like I'm losing my mind. That's where I've been. That's why Spirit put me on timeout. And honestly, it scared me. It scared me straight. I don't never, ever want to feel like that ever again. I not only have like ovarian cyst right now, but I have cyst also. And this is really Spirit being like, look, this isn't gonna fly anymore. You have to rise above old patterns. Just because everybody else can eat it and they can do it does not mean that you can. Why? Because you're not them, you're you. And that's it. That's it. That's all. And that's enough. My whole family tries to, like, oh, it's not that serious. It's not that serious. Da 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 da. Because I choose this unorthodox way of living. But, like, I really had to stand my ground. Okay? I live with some family and they're like, oh, what do you want to cook tonight? And they'll mention something and I'm like, nah, like, I don't eat pork. I don't da 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 da. I can't have that anymore. And, you know, I'll usually let them talk me into it. They're like, oh, one bite. You know, they always like, moderation's not going to kill you. Everything in moderation's fine. That's just not for me. It's not. And in doing so and thinking that I could do so, I was cutting corners. This was preventing me from continuing to master my craft. If I feel like crap, and it's really that deep for me. It's really that serious. I cannot have highly processed foods. At this point, caffeine's even doing it for me. Like, even just the smallest amount, my hormones get thrown off. Okay? So whatever this is for you, we'll pick back up, was causing a chaotic energy in the mind. It was causing you to shut out your intuition and only listen to cold hard facts. And even if you're not a religious or spiritual person, being fully left-brained or fully right-brained is not good. Okay, you can either lose touch from reality or get pulled so deep into cold hard facts that you start to just look at reality like, what the fuck, you know? And that's the energy that I'm getting. There was this imbalance in between the masculine and the feminine. And I once heard somebody say that the left side is feminine and the right side is masculine. So that's where I'm getting this. There was this internal imbalance because you were resisting change. Okay, you were resisting the change that you know may have been orthodox, It may not be how everyone else chooses to live, but you at this point understand that you have to stand your ground and defend how you want to live your life. Which is sad that I even have to say that, but it's the truth. If you want to get to where you want to be, you have to rise above the old patterns. No one, and it took me a while to realize this, no one's just gonna come and save me, okay? Everything that I want isn't just gonna fall right out of the sky. And that used to trigger me into eating like crap, and then I would wake up swollen, eyes puffy, rings stuck on my fingers, feeling like I'm 400 pounds heavier than I am, snoozing 5 alarms, waking up unmotivated, in a sour mood, having to force myself into a good mood, which just led to me suppressing feelings and emotions until they bottled up and bottled up and bottled up. I've said this again whenever it comes to me overcoming my past addictions to narcotics. Eventually, you will get tired of being tired, and you will nip this in the ass. You'll stop doing it. And I'll tell you something my therapist told me that really helped me stop being hard on myself. She said, Kayla, you didn't wake up one day and not want fentanyl. You need to be easy on yourself and realize that you're already taking the steps that you want to take to your life. You're looking for perfectionism instead of consistency. Okay? And in the midst, this is the most beautiful part of the message, in the midst of you going through this your mental energy just being all tangled up and just all over the place, you're not seeing that Spirit's trying to give you something. And this thing that Spirit's giving you has already walked into your life. These are little blessings and miracles, and I need you to really think about this for a second, okay? These are little miracles, 1, 2, 3, 4, when I looked up. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6 have been significant. I keep looking at even how puffy my face is right now because my thyroid is so swollen. Are these thyroids? Someone's gonna have to let me know in the comments. While you're wrapped up in your own mental energy in your mind, you don't see Spirit trying to give you something. And what I heard, and I'll give you a personal example, what I heard is that there are already little miracles and blessings that you're receiving, that you're not seeing them as miracles and keys to the future, if that makes sense. Like, I applied for food stamps and I got $49 a month, and I was like, okay, well, let's see if we can get some more, dispute the amount, because it says you can. And I went to go, confirmation burp. I have not burped one time today, guys. I called to dispute it, and they were like, the chances are very slim. We usually don't see people get approved for a higher amount. And I was like, well, you know what? The worst they could do is just tell me no. Let's do it. So I do it. God more than tripled the amount that I was given a month for food stamps. I went to work today and I picked up my check, and it was a really good one. It was the biggest one that I made so far at this company. And then right when I was about to walk out, they were like, oh yeah, here's your yearly bonus. I think they said yearly bonus, or they gave me a bonus. Right now, I'll be so honest with you, I'm just now getting my money spending habits under control. And as soon as I actually started to try to save, just like that, my EBT went up. Just like that, I got that bonus. Just like that, people were giving me coupons. Like my checkout amount was this, and they're like, oh, we got a coupon for you. Here you go. Just like that. And I'll tell you guys, what kept me from saving money was the fact that I only work 3 days. I only make X amount. And most of that goes to gas and bills. So it was like, what's the point in even saving? You know, like, whatever, God will just drop a miracle out the sky for me. And I am exposing myself. I sure am. Okay, I'm doing it, so maybe it helps somebody else. But when I actually started to put in the work, ooh, my heart chakra. When I actually started to put in the work, God showed me that not only that God's always been with me every step of the way, but now he's riding for me even more. Now he's doing for me even more because I'm doing for self. As above, so below. We got 4 oracle cards all together. Well, 3 oracles, 1 angel number. The first one that we got, which is the very first card I ever pulled, was Goddess of Love. And it says, I embrace divine love and radiate compassion to all beings. Rose quartz could be significant. I recently got some rose quartz specifically as a means of loving myself first. And I put so much intention, so much strong, pure intention on this rose quartz when I got it. And I asked God to intertwine his energy in this rose quartz before I even put it on. And y'all, I ain't never had a crystal feel so freaking powerful. When things get really dark and overwhelming in my mind, like, God instantly draws my mind to this rose quartz, okay? So I'll show you guys the card for that one. There you go. We got angel number 999, and it says release. Your current circumstances are ending, opening the door to better opportunities. If you're facing some significant changes, consider viewing your life as a series of cycles or chapters. Embrace this transition by making room for new experiences and welcoming fresh beginnings into your life. Number 999. All right, we got 2 more. It says, raise the bar and where there is hope. When you set higher standards for the people and situations in your life, you create space for new levels of joy and abundance. Rise above the old pattern. Why can I not read today? Rise above old patterns. I always try to do this and like tilt it sideways, so maybe like if anyone wants to pause, there's not like a phone glare on it. So let me know if you guys can see it on y'all's end with no glare, or I could just go back and watch my video myself. Anyway, where there is hope. Don't believe that past defeats and disappointments will keep you from succeeding. True success grows from the lessons. A hopeful heart never gives up. Where there is hope. Alright, I love you guys so much. I hope this helped, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.